How's it going, Hawks fans? Skoks, Chicago Blackhawks Central. Just going to dive into this Hawks versus Habs game for Friday night, 7:30 p.m. puck drop. But we'll go over some of the updates from morning skate today on Thursday and check out the Habs. So let's run it. Yeah, so like I was saying, just starting out with the Hawks updates from practice. Um, I think it's best to look at the morning lines, right? From Ben Pope this morning, a few guys there at practice today, but just looking at this forward group, interesting lines. Not the same as uh, when we last played, but the lines starting with top line Reichel Bedard sticking together, keeping Donato on that top line there. Interesting to keep him on that top line with Kershev back at practice, but it seems like Coach Luke and staff they like the chemistry that Donato has up there right now, and I know Kershev's been excellent, you know, since he's really burst onto the scene now. But keeping Donato on that line is okay, I guess, for the matchups, possibly. So starting out the game with Donato, we'll probably see Kurashev on that top line with Reichel and Bedard, um, probably halfway through. You know how we always we always cycle these lines up a bit throughout the game if something isn't working too well, keeping puck possession. But we will see with that top line if Donato sticks. But looking at line two, Kurashev, Tyler Johnson, and Taylor Radish. So TJ and Radish, obviously they've been on that second line there for a while with Beauvillier. So it's interesting to see Beauvillier bump down a bit because I think he's been playing fast, right? Hustles, plays physical. He's pretty good with the puck, sticky with the puck. He doesn't lose it very often. So um, interesting to see him down there. But Kershev is flanking that left side there on the left wing for TJ and Radish. So it's going to be interesting to see them work with Kershev. Little more skill now, little better shot, but uh, like I said, it's probably going to get blended throughout the game a bit, um, like it always does, right? But that third line, Foligno, Dickinson, Colin Blackwell. Uh, just looking at back at last game, Colin Blackwell was a major input, right? Spark plug last game, and it's great to see him back. Not like a flashy player by any means, but loved how he played. That hit on McKinnon towards the end of the game to really stir up that Avs team, right? Got them taking penalties there at the end, and it put us on a better situation to close out that win. And I think that's great because we haven't seen a lot of that this year, really. Just being physical, stirring it up, and we take advantage of that, right, to close out the game there. But line four, Beauvillier, left wing, Mackenzie Entwistle at center, and Reese Johnson, right wing. So cool to see Beauvillier down on that fourth line there for Entwistle and Reese Johnson. But it's good to see a little speed, right? Maybe he could burst out on a break and add a little something to that line, right? Looking at the D pairs, Isaac Phillips, Connor Murphy on the first pair. However you want to look at it, but that's probably the first pair right now. Phillips, Murphy, Kaiser, Crevier. So Crevier's still in right now. Roos and Zaitsev. So same decor really. There's the last few games, playing better somehow, right? Um, a lot of young guys in there: Phillips, Kaiser, Crevier, Roos. Just I think they've been playing a little more responsible recently, right? Like the last game here. Um, it's, it's been good to see that they're playing smarter hockey. You know, not only physical hockey, but they're playing smarter, and I think that's good. And Tenorti, Korchinski, and I believe someone else is back skating. Vlasic is back skating. So Tenorti and Korchinski. Coach Luke said that we will look at them tomorrow or towards the weekend to see where Tenorti and Korchinski are at with their, taking steps to get back in the lineup here and get some ice time. But we will see what's going on with Korchinski, Tenorti, and Vlasic. It could be a little longer, maybe for Vlasic, maybe after the new year. But since Korchinski and Tenorti are actively practicing now, I think that's a good sign. And it would be great to have one or two of those guys back, obviously, right? Just to clear up some of these younger guys and uh, help out Rockford, send it back down for the Ice Hogs. But that pretty much wraps up the news from morning skate. Let's see here. Yeah, Vlasic skated on his own before practice started, so not with the team from Greg this morning. Vlasic, yeah. So doesn't seem like he's uh, imminent, right? His return. So it's probably going to be more towards that new year, but that's completely fine. You want to be careful with those type of things. And Vlasic, he's a young guy, so he'll probably heal that up pretty well. But we will see him back soon. And taking a look at the Montreal Canadiens lineup, and I know we played them not too long ago. It was before that Toronto game, I believe, or it might have been after the Toronto game in Toronto. But taking a look at their top line here, Cole Caulfield, Nick Suzuki, center, Juraj Slavkovsky, the former number one overall pick. He's on that right wing there on that top line. 19 years old right now, 6'3", right? 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points in 31 games. So that's not great at all. I mean, that's their pick. That's their number one pick. Wasn't really too fond of him as a prospect that year coming out, but it seems like he's having a rough go at it starting out. But hope he turns it around. Obviously, super young. It's only up, right? You can only improve unless it stays consistent that way. But I think he's definitely going to get a little better here with his potential, right? He's got some good potential. But looking at the second line, Sean Monahan, Jake Evans, Josh Anderson still rolling. Seems like he's been there forever now. Josh Anderson, 29. Sean Monahan, I think he's had a decent run here. 9 goals, 10 assists, 19 points in 31 games. Decent stuff. Solid stuff for that second line. He could play wing for you. He could play center. He's like 6'1". He's 29 now. Oh, okay. Yeah, so 6'2"-ish. Yeah, 19 points, 31 games. That's he is a name that we might see later on around at the trade deadline, right? Just a versatile veteran player. Play middle six somewhere on a competitive team, right? Look at this third line. Joel Armia is back in there. 6'4", so matching up with some of our bigger guys on our bottom six. Also, like Entwistle, he's like 6'3", 6'4". Just looking at bigger bodies here. Christian Dvorak is at 3C, cool player. Not too cool on the points though. 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points in 21 games. So, well, as your third C, it is what it is, but not great. Brendan Gallagher, 31 now. He has 5 goals, 7 assists, 12 points in 31 games. So we are obviously seeing his decline now, post 30, right? But he's been a super solid player for the Habs for a very long time. So cool to see him still rolling on that third line there. Fourth line, Emil Heineman, 22 years old, so a bit of a younger guy. Doesn't have any points registered or any type of stats, so we will see about that. He is Swedish. On that bottom line center spot, that's Mitchell Stevens, 26 years old, 0 points, 8 games played. So it looks like they're rotating some guys in and out here. Fourth line right wing, Jesse Jolinen, I believe that's Finnish. 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points, 24 games. So definitely seems like they have had some injuries. Obviously down here with Kirby Doc, back when Jared Tenorti kind of benched him like that, and he had a major injury, so that's unfortunate for Kirby. But Alex Newhook is also injured, about 3 months. Tanner Pearson about 6 weeks. So there goes your forward depth. That's very noticeable in that lineup. Also, Michael Pizzetta, I remember he was around there for a while, 25 years old. So it seems like he was scratched recently, so we'll see if he's in the lineup. Just looking at the D-core, Michael Matheson, David Savard still rolling, 33 years old. 1 goal, 2 assists, 3 points in 9 games. So it seems like he was injured and he just returned recently. On a second line, Caden Gooley, fun player, 21 years old, 2 goals, 7 assists, 9 points in 27 games. Cool stuff. Justin Barron, Jaden Struble, Jonathan Kovacevic, 26 years old, 4 goals, though, in 31 games, and 1 assist. So, interesting decor, definitely. Goalies, Sam Montembeault and Jake Allen. I believe we played Montembeault last matchup, I think. But he's a fun goalie to watch. 27 years old, Jake Allen, 33, still rolling here. 911 save percentage for Montembeault, 904 for Jake Allen. So interesting to see who will be in net on Friday night. Just overall looking at the lineup here, matching up with the Hawks currently with a lot of guys out, and I think we've been playing with much better pace and hustle, right? Just effort, and that top 6 is starting to contribute a lot more for us now. Just getting on the board, I think this is definitely a winnable game. If you could beat the Avs on a bad night like that they had, if you keep this consistent, keep the effort going, just play with heart, really, right? I think this is a very, very winnable game. It's nice to see some wins on the board, right? Especially before Christmas, just express some Christmas cheer, right? Holiday cheer. Basically, the only threat is that top line. Cole Caulfield, Nick Suzuki, Sofkovsky, Sean Monahan, Jake Evans, Josh Anderson. They're cool players, but I'm not really scared of that line, but that top line definitely has some skill on it. And Cole Caulfield, I believe he scored tonight on Thursday night, so I believe this is a back-to-back. Yes, it is. So we are getting them on the second half of a back-to-back. I'm going to pencil this in as a Hawks win. You should definitely be winning this game. Uh, it's a pretty even lineup with ours, and uh, just based off of certain positions, right? But back to back, you have to get this game. Pretty straightforward there, especially noticing that back to back. But yeah, so that covers the Habs preview. Just looking at today, midday, I believe it was just a scrimmage exhibition game, right? Team USA and Sweden. So um, Frank Nazar, Oliver Moore, Gavin Hayes, and Sam Renzel were all in the USA lineup. Um, let's see. I believe Oliver Moore was on that fourth line with Gavin Hayes on the right wing, Oliver Moore on the left wing, Danny Nelson down the middle. So that's a cool player also. Sam Renzel on that fourth D pair. So it looks like they just tossed their full roster out there. Gabe Perreault's also over there. Will Smith, Ryan Leonard. That's absolutely awesome. That USA development squad, right? That's crazy. That's awesome. The second line, Frank Nazar, awesome to see, paired up with Gavin Brindley, the Michigan duo, right? Isaac Howard, Seamus Casey's over there, Devils prospect. First line, Jimmy Snuggerud from Minnesota, Cutter Gauthier, Quinn Finley, Lane Hudson's there. Trey Augustine, the number one goalie. So this is definitely a fun lineup, and to see four Hawks prospects in there is great. I believe Oliver Moore did not have an assist in the exhibition game, but he did create a lot with the puck, and it um, ended up creating a goal. Did not get an assist on that play, but lots of creation from Chris Peters. And I also tuned into that exhibition game. I believe it was in Swedish, so a little difficult to point out the players, but I kept up pretty well. Yeah, so that covers the exhibition game. Frank Nazar, huge hit, explosive hit, open ice on some Swedish player, Jacob Norin. Absolutely laid him out. I believe we have the clip on our Twitter there. Crazy to see that hit out of Frankie like that. Just laid the shoulder into him, and I do like those open ice hits like those. Really gets you going. But good to see the Hawks prospects in action. And that pretty much wraps up the episode for today. Just previewing that Habs game and a few updates here and there. So 7:30 puck drop on Friday night, and should be good. Should be an interesting game at the UC home game. Definitely looking for a win here, but that pretty much wraps up today. Skoks, keep an eye on that Twitter. Have all the updates from practice, from the beat, instantly, right? And that pretty much wraps it up. But follow us on the page and keep an eye out for those lineups with the injury updates. So let's go Hawks, and we'll see you tomorrow.